Wasn't planning on it, but here it goes. According to Pew Research, in 2023, only 16% of the people thought that DEI was a bad thing. By the time of the election in 2024, that number moved to 21%. It turns out that Republicans are overwhelmingly more likely to think that DEI is a bad thing relative to the Democrats. Only 4% of the Democrats think that it's a bad thing, whereas up to 42% of the Republicans declare that DEI is a bad thing. As you can see, this is very much a party line issue. And then we have numerous other studies on this topic, of course. There's the woman who went from 0 to 70% response rate by simply changing her name to a male name on her resume. And then a Yale study showed that even scientists, the more evolved and objective people, are not immune to these biases, and they're more likely to hire a John than a Jennifer when presented with the exact same resume. The sad fact is that even women scientists exhibited the same bias. And then we have the MIT study, which showed that women are less likely than men to be promoted even when they have the same performance. This study had two very interesting parts to it. Part one showed that even when women had the exact same current performance in the current role, they were not rated as highly for potential future performance. And part two was that women needed a significantly higher score in the future potential performance area in order to be considered for the same promotion as their male counterparts. And then there are copious studies about how women are considered far fewer times for hiring as men for the same positions when they have the same credentials, and especially so when they have children. And we can look around, and there are so many examples of white men failing up even when there are SA allegations against them. Look, I've had a long corporate career and I've been in the same rooms that you are talking about. I worked for two companies where white men who were Nepo kids got the job just because they were born to the right families. Chris Galvin at Motorola and then Paul Jacobs at Qualcomm, both of whom did a huge disservice to the respective companies they were leading during the time they were CEOs. So I have seen this firsthand, and I know the frustration you are talking about, where sometimes it feels like we are scrambling to find women to promote or fill a quota just because somebody's had a DEI goal to accomplish. What I can tell you with certainty is this: for every one example of a woman who didn't deserve their promotion getting promoted, I can name 10 men who got promoted that did not deserve their promotions. We tend to ignore the times men moved up despite their incompetence because that's what was always happening and that was normal. So, is the system perfect? Absolutely not. But it is net positive and it's absolutely essential to achieve the goals of equality.